Tutaj Tomek Kopyra z blogu blogkopyra.com. Czy konie mnie słyszą? Czy jest dźwięk, czy nie ma? Jesteśmy w Llandeilo w browarze Evan Evans w zachodniej Walii. To jest taka bardziej rolnicza, bardziej taka malownicza część. Może potem pokażemy Wam jakieś malownicze widoki. Czy słychać mnie? Dajcie znać, czy mnie słychać. Jesteśmy w browarze Evan Evans. Słychać, dobrze. Browar Evan Evans prowadzony przez Simona Buckleya. Simon Buckley.
Hi.
Sixth or seventh generation of brewers?
I'm sixth, my son James is seventh, and my two grandsons are the eighth,
Will
both
be eighth.
waiting for the hot seat.
Okay. In your family was brewery Buckley.
That's right.
It was one of the biggest breweries in Wales, like Brains, yeah?
Yes, it was, yes. It was the biggest family brewery in Wales for probably 150, 180 years, and then Brains bought it in 1988. And after they bought it in 1988, they kept it going till 1996, and then after that it was closed and sold. But the biggest selling Brains brand of all time is the Reverend James, which was a Buckley's brand.
A recipe.
And, exactly, and it's enormously, wherever you go in the UK you will find Reverend James, and it's a great credit to Brains and their team.
Now you are brewing as Evan Evans
That's right.
here in Llandeilo.
That's right. Well done.
Llandeilo. Equipment. This is 30 barrels.
It's a 30 barrel US barrel plant.
US, not UK.
Not UK. Made by DME in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we bought the plant way back in 1991. Brought it over, and it was one of the first Canadian brewing plants here in the UK at the time. And we bought it because it was well made, it would produce high quality, consistent beer and give us the opportunity to be able to make really high quality products. And that's what we've done.
Pokażę Wam krótko warzelnię, tylko że tam jest hałas, więc po prostu oglądajcie. Chociaż nie, już wyłączyli. There is a
This is the mash tun,
mash tun, kać zacierna.
and we use that to brew ales, lagers, and we produce light and dark beers in it.
It's heated or not? Like
It's not heated, but what we use is we use hot liquor it's insulated, so we use hot liquor to warm it in the first place.
so typical British solution, yeah. Not heated mash tun.
Because we use very high quality malt, we don't need to go back to reheat it and give it time. We can use this infusion mash, which at the end of the day is very good.
Usually in which temperature?
We tend to mash at about 67 degrees.
67.
So we're producing good quality wort.
There is a kettle, copper, yeah.
The wort kettle, it's a whirlpool kettle, so we use hot pellets. We use it's steam heated, so we get a very, very good rolling boil from it. But what's very important is that it produces consistently stable beer by being able to boil it very hard. And
Yeah,
of
no
course,
problem.
that's our raw water supply. We need about 5 litres a second when we're brewing flat out. And Welsh Water, who are the local suppliers, can only supply 2 litres a minute. But what we then do is we just hold that as a reservoir. We then carbon filter the water to take out impurities and different minerals, and then we add back the brewing minerals we want in the mash tun.
This is something like hop rocket, yeah.
It is not any old hop rocket. There's only about 4 or 5 of these in the UK. We use this for adding aroma in certain golden beers and the stronger dark beers where we can put some intense hop flavors into them.
Okay. Przejdziemy na butelkowanie i tam spróbujemy jakiś piw. Okay, so let's go for a tasting.
Yes.
Muszę się rozłączyć na chwilę i za chwilę się połączymy znowu, bo muszę przejść pod drugie Wi-Fi, ale będzie dobrze. Mam nadzieję, że będzie dobrze. Wracamy, jesteśmy na drugim Wi-Fi, więc będzie dobrze. Tutaj następuje butelkowanie, bo oni większość swojej produkcji dają w keski, no ale oprócz tego butelkują. To są tanki, do których po prostu trafia piwo, a to są tak zwane bebety, czyli Bright Beer Tank i z nich jest bezpośrednio przeprowadzany rozlew. Tu jest linia rozlewnicza, jak widzicie, monoblok. Także tutaj są butelkowane te piwa, tu są filtry, także piwo jest filtrowane, może nawet i mikrofiltrowane. Co zrobić, taką sobie drogę wybrali. No i tutaj możemy wreszcie spróbować jakiś piw. Watford.
We're going for WPA.
WPA, Welsh Pale Ale, Evan Evans.
Here we go.
Thank you. Malty.
More traditional.
Welsh Pale Ale, it's only a name, or there are some differences with English Pale Ale or Scottish Pale Ale?
It's brewed to the Welsh palate. Malt, nice balanced hoppy taste, dry thirst quenching beer, 4.2%. Designed to be very, very sort of thirst quenching.
Yeah, it's like lager on the continent in Europe. This is the Welsh Pale Ale. Is to fight with a big mass market brands. Yeah.
Well, it is, but
It's easy to drink. Yeah,
Easy
for
to drink.
lager drinkers.
yes, it's what we would call here a transition beer. For the lager drinker who wants to transition from from lagers across to more traditional beers.
At the end, there is some bitterness. Of course, probably something like 20, 24 IBU.
29 to 32.
29. But
You weren't far out.
I'm very I'm used to higher numbers, so this is
We're going there in a minute.
Są jakieś problemy z transmisją? Wydaje mi się, że tutaj był dobry ten. Tak, 17 łapek w górę to jest śmiech na sali, naprawdę. Organic Gold beer with medal for
Voted top organic beer in the world in 2013. One of the great beers of Wales.
Simon,
Mark.
let's wait a minute. Organic Gold, Evan Evans. Tu jest medal. There is a market for organic beer in the UK.
It's very big and growing. People want what they want is they want beers that have provenance. They want to know where the malts have come from, where the beers have come from. This has got Nelson Sauvignon as
really?
the aroma hop, yeah, and it's right at the end. Notice more bitterness.
Nice bitterness.
Nice bitterness.
Nice.
And this is a great beer. It's been very, very good for us over the years.
Aroma. I can't feel the Nelson, but bitterness is really cool. Really New Zealand style.
Yes, nice and dry, crisp bitterness.
Yeah, crisp, white fruits.
Okay, where do we go next? How about trying one of our artisan beers, which is one of our craft beers? Artisan
Stinga.
Another organic beer.
Mhm.
You'll see that this one is designed to be slightly more bitter. It's
So maybe the same malt, yeah,
same
malt beer,
same malt,
but different hops. Yeah.
totally different hops. Yeah.
I'm driving car. I'll be
Thank you. Stinga. No, it's only B on on the label. Yeah, definitely more intensive bitterness.
we're slowly going up the bitterness scale as we go through the different beers. So this is designed to be for the person who likes a more traditional.
Yeah, this is golden ale I could drink because there's, for me it's bitter enough.
Yeah.
Maybe even at the higher scale of the forest style, because
Absolutely.
golden ale usually are very
Light and
mildly bitter. But yeah, even I can say it's something like maybe session IPA a bit.
Yeah, probably. It's a nice, well-balanced beer, don't you think?
Yeah, but
Now try this one. Same family, slightly different beer.
snapper.
Snapper. Brewed, again, for that person who likes a slightly more complex beer.
More dry.
Well, it's a little, yeah, it's drier. Good carbonation. But it's, what am I thinking here? I'm thinking it's almost like a champagne-y.
Carbonation.
No.
I know what you mean. It's like as we talk about brut IPA. Yeah?
Yes.
This
It's-
dry on a palate, on tongue.
yeah, this is like this brand. There's a brand new style of beer, Simon, that's come out in Poland.
No, not in Poland. It's from US. Yeah.
In the US. Sorry.
Brut IPA.
Brut champagne. So it's very dry. Good carbon. This is quite like a brut IPA.
This is a beer that you would drink with food. You'd enjoy it, a light snack, some prawns or something like that, and it's golden in colour, nice and gentle, good bitterness on the back of your tongue, clean. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the day, that's the. Now then, let's take you next. It's probably one of the. This is the one that a lot of people really like. It's called Mosaic.
Mosaic.
It's built around the Mosaic hop.
I'm going to do a review of this.
Get the Mosaic coming through at the back.
I think even less bitter than the previous one.
It's less bitter. It's more emphasis on the Mosaic. Trying to give a nice floral finish at the end.
Yeah. At the end, yeah, in the background, yeah, there are some hoppy notes, yeah.
Now we're going to go to Kelp, which was a brand we bought a year ago. It's
That brewery was in Carafili, yeah?
Yeah, Kopyra, yes.
Caerphilly.
It was a brewery owned by Tom Newman. Tom decided to give up. We bought it, and since then we've totally rebranded it, and we've rebuilt the beers. And now we're going to give you a taste of the Kelp Pilsner, which is a hoppy lager-style beer.
Definitely Pilsen malt.
Yeah.
Very clear. For Pilsner, I like more bitterness. It's more like
This is 46. This is
46 IBU? Unbelievable.
EBU, yeah.
EBU. Unbelievable. Maybe at the third sip, maybe, but 46?
But don't forget, we leave. This is
Chieftain.
Kelp Chieftain.
Everyday IPA. Nice label. I like this style. Simple, clean. Definitely more hoppy in aroma. Dry with some caramel notes, crystal malt notes, but not sweet. Very dry. A bit tobacco notes in bitterness and in hop. Which hops?
There's, you know, I can't remember off the top of my head. There's some,
Chinook.
yeah, Chinook is used to give it that sort of sharp, dry bitterness.
Yeah.
You know, right at the end. So
More like English IPA than American one. Even if with Chinook, but
everyday IPA. We're not saying it's one or the other. It's designed to be bitter, malty, but it's something you would drink without feeling, you know, too aggrieved in terms of bitterness. Let's give you a.
Pilsner we already tried.
So now we're going to try Silures. Now, this is a golden beer that has spruce tips
Oh, I like it.
in the percolator. Try that.
Piwo z młodymi pędami świerku. Very subtle. We have one of, or maybe 2 or 3 beers in Poland with spruce or pine or fir needles.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. I
yeah,
like
you
it.
like it.
I like it
Well,
because
this
I
is-
like very, you know, distinct, intensive aromas. Yeah. But this is this character of spruce, but at the end.
Right at the end, and designed to be very, very clean, but a distinctive taste.
Yeah.
This one?
Silures.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't mention that it's with spruce, I can't find it, but I think it was from hops.
Yeah, okay.
This piney or spruce notes. Maritime spruce tips. Percolator. What is percolator?
That's the machine where we pump
Ah,
the
okay. This
hot wort through.
this hop rocket.
That's right, the hop rocket. Yeah.
Which is your favorite so far, Sammy?
So far, I think that Stinga.
Doesn't surprise me. Right, now then. We'll take you now to organic and gluten-free. Very much the flavours of the moment. This is
Now we have this one.
Sunrise. Whoops.
No, Montana.
No, that's a different one. We're going to have that one in a minute.
Ah, Sunrise. This one.
Yeah, whoops.
This one. Sunrise. Organic and gluten-free. Sunrise. Fire Island.
Really good. You've got to remember that if you go to the Nordic states all like lots of everything when it comes to spruce pines. Yeah. But so we're on Sunrise now, which is, well, tell us what you think.
That's all right.
Nice hops. Especially in the flavor, not in aroma, in the flavor. But to be honest, what do you think about this organic beers? You think,
There's a big future in organic beers. People want
but
to...
do you think that this beer, which aren't organic, your beer, are worse?
No,
I
not
don't
at-
think so.
No, not at all. No, I mean there is different horses for different courses. So, I mean, you know, there are those that want, you know, not everybody wants to drink gluten-free. Some people have to drink. Drink gluten-free. But you know what? It's a massive market and growing.
But the thing is that some people, I've heard that 1% need to avoid gluten, but many people think, oh, it's fancy, it's gluten free, it's better.
Well, they not only think you know, the women, the ladies, and I better be careful because there's ladies out there who I know are very critical of me. At the end of the day, She'll be on the bloody internet now. But the point is, a lot of ladies like to drink gluten-free because they like
Things
to believe
that
it's
low
not-
calories.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Which is not true.
It's, you know, but what's very important is that for a long, long time, people who suffer from being
Celiac, yeah.
celiac and other things have not had beers to drink, and now, you know, we've got two new ones coming out for the autumn, and at last they can go and buy a box of beer.
Yeah, I
and-
understand, but on the other hand,
don't have to be-
gluten-free is different thing, yeah, because there are people who have to avoid gluten, yeah, no problem. But organic, yeah, don't you think that it's a danger that some people think, okay, organic is good, so the rest is bad, yeah?
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I mean, I'm like you, Tom. I believe that the reality about organic beer is there are some people who like the provenance of where organic beer comes from.
Who
And
want
what
to
it-
pay more?
Well, we don't charge more.
Huh?
No, we don't
The
charge
malt
more.
is the same price?
Not the same price, but we just brew it because we bottle it ourselves. We're able to absorb some of the cost. But we're very close to Warminster Malt, and they produce a very, very fine organic malt. And yeah, we've got a keen price on it, so we can brew organic beers at a competitive price.
The question.
Toxic. We're talking about. Who's this saying toxic? What about last night?
They write that you should brew a collaborative brew toxic beer.
Because of last night, not. You know what happened last night, Simon?
Well, I don't want to get involved in that. That's
no.
between
The
you.
question is where you can buy these beers.
Online on the new Evan
Online?
Evans online on the new Evan Evans website, which comes out at the end of July. And with that, you'll be able to taste our cider as well. But I've got two more for you to taste.
Here?
Yep, that one. We'll go to this one next. But you notice this is a different style of beer than Far Island. It's a more hoppy front end taste without it being bitter.
Mikrofon szumi czy powerbank szumi? A może a to w ogóle szumi tutaj, wiecie, no pompa jakaś, no. Teraz lepiej? Możemy wyłączyć powerbanka. Lepiej? What do you have now? Wild Mountain. Dark golden beer. So dark or golden?
Darker golden.
To szumienie to jest tutaj, no, jakieś tam agregaty prądotwórcze, czy tworzące zimną wodę.
What do you think of these? Really good.
Musi szumieć.
The aroma is very
To
clean.
jest browar działający. The question is about Evan McEvans.
Evan McEvans.
No, McEwan's. No,
McEwan.
it's not. No, it's not McEwan's.
No.
McEwan's is
Scottish.
Yeah.
It's owned by Heineken now, and great Scottish brewery once upon a time, but many years ago.
So there is a coincidence, or
No. They were relative new boys. We'd been brewing a long time before them.
as Evan Evans?
No, Evan Evans is my great grandmother's maiden name. So she was a Miss Evan Evans. So we couldn't call it Buckley's because Brains owned the brand name. So we called it Evan Evans.
Okay.
And here we are, one of the great Welsh breweries, you know. We're not ones who believe in overzealous, over-hopped beers that are tonsil cleansing, take the enamel off. What we're about is well-balanced flavours, and everything you will have tasted there. Not everything may be to your exact liking, but they're well-made, balanced beers, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, clean, no faults. For me, maybe too less distinct. I'm
You're
what you don't like. Yeah, I'm
Well, it's not
for
what I don't like, I mean-
revolution. A lot of hops, a lot of crazy beers. But of course, market is on your side. Yeah.
The answer, you see, what everybody forgets with the craft beer argument is, what people want is innovation. They want to taste new beers, they want to taste new styles of beer. But what we must not lose sight of is that in the UK market, only 8% of the total beer market is craft beer.
Do you know
Really?
how many is in Poland?
Go on, tell me.
0.5%.
0.5%. So that says something. But here's what I say about it is, for those that want it, let's provide it. For those that don't want it,
American Amber Ale, American Amber Beer. It's ale
Yes.
or lager?
it's
Ale.
an ale.
Ale. Firefly. Nice, malty, some caramel notes from malt, nice bitterness, dry crisp finish. There is a question, what about organic? What does it really mean? It means that there were no pesticides on barley, on hops, or what?
Everything. Everything all the way through the process. There are no additives, so we don't. The barley when it's malted comes from a specific farm which is Soil Association accredited. So that means they don't use any pesticides or weed killers or anything like that. So the malt is very pure and very special. But the processes as well, we're not allowed to use sanitizers. So we use sanitizers and then we have to wash them down and go from goal. And yeah, you know, it's a very...
So there is no treat to some small traces of chemicals
No.
go to beer, yeah?
No.
So you have to use because it's good, but then you rinse the equipment with water.
That's right, exactly. And when we've rinsed it with water, we have to make sure the water's clean. Otherwise, we'd be reintroducing all sorts. You know, so yes, and it's a very particular process. But you know what? There is something really special about having a really good organic beer.
The question is, it sounds like a lot more work. So why the price is the same?
It's very simple because we brew enough of it to be able to sell it well.
Organic beers sell better than not organic?
No, but people aren't put off either by it. What they say is, if it's organic and it's the same price, we love it.
Ah, okay.
So
So
it's a very-
this is a strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy. So we negotiate hard with our maltsters every year. Hops, organic hops, for example, Nelson Sauvignon, which goes in the organic gold, is £40 a kilo, as opposed to ordinary, which is about £26 a kilo. So it's hugely different. But where the nonsense around organic comes from is the fact that organic hops, the best organic hops, come from New Zealand, and they're flown over here to the UK. So,
A bit old.
Yes. So the air miles instantly come into it, and it makes you think. But you know what I've tried to show you this afternoon is a range of beers. We've got one more to try, which is Montana. And but this is a nice clean beer, Firefly. It's a beer that's about being different, it's about being malty, but it is organic, and you know the organic followers absolutely love it.
Do you have the World Beer Cup winner there, Kuru?
That yet? No, well, no, we're going to taste Kuru last of all, but I think actually we've overdone it a little bit with the other one first. But
Lots of people have been asking for the Welsh word of beer, and that's the reason why I wanted to
Yeah,
show
yeah,
it.
there will be. Yeah, we'll show it.
now this is Montana.
Dark malty beer. So it's like amber ale or mild?
Darker amber ale. You love me more? Did you think of sleeping in the labour?
I know one of those self-driving Teslas.
Yeah, really malty and a bit nutty. Like a light brown ale.
Oh, it's a bit better than that. That's the colour, but it's a bit better than that. It's got a lovely complex. I mean, you've tasted 12 beers.
Yeah, but I mean a brown ale in a manner of probably Northern England brown ale.
The
It
style.
has similar color and
It's a recipe that I worked on with an American friend of mine who brews in upstate New York, and what we decided we'd try and do is produce something that was really nice, really quaffing, a real quaffing beer, but also having a nice maltiness about it, but with a nice bitterness right at the end. And of course, you've got to remember, where is it? You've got to remember, it's
4.6.
so it's a full-bodied beer.
There's a question, how many beers you have in your portfolio?
We brew 43 casks beers,
43 cask.
and we produce 12 to 16 bottle beers, each one for a different market.
46 cask. What is... why so many?
Well, very simple. People like you want to taste something new every month, you know.
Exactly.
And if we are to compete on the, across the Welsh stage, then we have to produce something new, interesting, and different every month. And we do that, and we've got the brands to do it.
What is the share of cask and bottles?
Oh, at the moment, our cask beer is twice the size of our bottle beers.
So
But
it's
we're
something 60 to 66 to 33, yeah?
Well,
Two-thirds.
it's going up now because the bottle beers are going up significantly because we export about 30 to 40 containers of beer a year to Europe. So we just hope that Boris Johnson and the rest of the idiots in government wake up and realise that people like us are dependent on them making the right decisions.
I've read an article that there are two alternatives. Or there will be soft Brexit with Theresa May, or Boris Johnson will be Prime Minister.
Really?
Yeah, well, I'll have a small wager. Boris Johnson won't be Prime Minister. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But what's sad about Welsh brewing is that at the moment, 73% of all beer sold over the bars in Wales are produced by the multinational brewers, and we need to be in a position where people like yourselves and myself get together and we team up, and what we say is we want to save Welsh jobs by drinking real Welsh ale. It is the future of our community, our brewing community, that we have to stick together. And the problem that we have got at the moment is we have a Welsh government that cannot get behind that idea. They cannot get behind the idea that we need to say to the multinational brewers, it has to be an even and fair playing field. Don't dump your beers brewed in England, exporting Welsh jobs to England, and leaving the beer here at ridiculous prices. And that's the message.
Yeah, and I'll come in on that. We're probably talking about malts and cores, and you have problem with malts and cores in Poland as well.
No, we have no Molson Coors.
No, but it's sold at Asahi, is it?
SAB Miller.
SAB Miller.
SAB Miller was sold to Asahi.
Right. But it will all be, at the end of the day, the same simple story. The big boys are losing market share, so they buy breweries. When they buy breweries, they take out the local touch. And here we are, we're standing in the bottling hall of Evan Evans. An investment we've made over the last 18 months is £600,000.
Wow.
And we employ
£600,000?
£1,000. €750,000, let's put it like that. And
Wow.
we've done it for a very good reason. And we employ a lot of local people. But if these big boys get hold of the marketplace, they will destroy it. And there is no doubt about it. Whatever anybody else says, that we at the end of the day, as an industry, must team together, big and small brewers alike, people who produce specialist bottled beers, people who produce specialist cask beers. Let's all get together so that people like you, when you come here to visit us, will be able to taste great Welsh ale.
I only taste Welsh beer here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell Simon that it's true. That I tell you, no English, we prefer Welsh, yeah, for a live stream,
Yep.
the first day,
Oh, well.
in pubs, yeah, support local beer.
Exactly, and that's what it's about. And my family this year celebrate 250 years of family brewing, and I hope that my son, will see 300 years, and who knows, perhaps Harriet or my grandson Edward will see 325. How good would that be, eh?
I wish you that.
Well, it's been very nice meeting you. So,
yeah.
the end
Kuru,
now,
Kuru.
we have to have Kuru.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Kuru is the national drink of Wales. And all I will say to you is, you've tasted hoppy beers, you've tasted bitter beers, but this is the beer. Why do the Welsh want to be drinking Dunbar when they can be drinking Kuru?
Yeah.
You have a brand Kuru for your own, or
This is ours.
Yeah, because this is beer.
Yes, but what would have happened 200 years ago was that Welshman would have walked into the pub with his mate and he would have said, Doi Pinto Cwrw, 2 pints of beer. And what it would have been the local beer. And so why shouldn't we have a brand? We're the only Celtic nation in the world that doesn't have a national drink. Go to Ireland and drink stout, go to Scotland, it's whiskey, go to France, it's cider and wine, and there it is. But Cwrw. And this was voted one of the top 3 best bitters in the world in 2011.
Yeah, it's won a gold award, hasn't it?
No, this hasn't won a gold award. This was voted one of the top 3. But it's a great beer, and we sell lots of it.
Okay, let's.
Now, after the last one you tasted, I suspect it might taste a bit bland.
Yeah, it's. Definitely malty in aroma.
Slight hint of sweetness. This is traditionally Welsh. 4.2, nice beer, simple, easy drinking.
I got a quick story for you guys.
Like liquid breath, yeah?
Yeah.
It's something similar to, in my opinion, maybe Märzen beer from Germany.
I haven't tasted that. But
It's you know, beer which is more malty, not very bitter, but very nutrition, yeah.
This would be 32, 33 EBUs. So, and it would be used, we brew using North Down Challenger and Cascade right at the end.
4.2
Yeah.
ABV.
I like that. This is something for me. Barbecue. I've made no secret of it on my channel. There's days when I want to drink a hobby beer. There's days when I want to drink a malty beer. And I got a quick story for you guys. I sold out of this beer. I worked in I had a day in a supermarket with a marketing company. I sold Cwrw, and I was sold out. They paid me for the day, and they said, finish when you've sold out. I was sold out by 2:30 in the afternoon, all finished. It all sold out. Giving out little tasters. People were buying 4 beers of this because in Wales, it's yes, of course, it's all about the hops, but at the same time, you want something to session, something to drink, some 4 pints of it, 5 pints of it.
Brewers,
Back to Simon. Sorry.
brewers in Wales have always been successful at brewing good beers that people want to drink. The craft beer era came along, and as the craft beer era came along, so we were in a position where people wanted to try new things. But let me just say this to you. What is more important than anything else is that when people go to a pub, they drink Welsh beer. Whether it's mine...
In Wales?
Yes. Yeah, Welsh beer, Wiltshire. We drink these beers every day of the week. We want to drink something new and different. And we've got to get a message through to Welsh government that at the end of the day, protect the Welsh brewing industry. Wiltshire, we drink these beers every day of the week. We want to drink something new and different. And we've got to get a message through to Welsh of your tourism sell. And if people don't have Welsh beer to drink in Wales, then what have we got to give them?
Okay, what I want to tell you. Wszystkie łapki w górę, no co to jest 71 łapek? Było pytanie o jakie ma wybicie browar. To jest 30 baryłek, ale US, czyli 116 litrów, czyli około 35 hekto. They thought that your voice is like David Attenborough.
Very kind of them. I'm very old and very nearly past it.
Okay, nice. Generally, Stinga was my favorite one.
Then we better finish this with some Stinger, hey?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to send you back to Poland having not had good Welsh hospitality. Oh, can't have it. Come on, Martin, keep up. I'd never drink during the day, but there we are. rules are there to be broken.
You
Anyway.
know, it's a brewery,
I know.
not a factory of you know.
Of dark liquid.
Yeah,
Dark liquid.
or how I call it. Jest takie powiedzenie, że to jest browar, a nie fabryka śrub. Tylko nie wiem, jak to powiedzieć po angielsku.
Lovely.
Very good.
Metalworks?
Yes,
This is brewery, not a metalworks factory.
that's right. Any rate, very good. Now, are we taking you to see a really good pub? Do you want to see a really good Welsh
Yeah, I
pub?
was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take you up there.
But first of all, very quickly, I'll finish my brewery. So can you show me around the bottling plant? And can you do it with this as well?
No, I go out the side and reply some comments, yeah?
Okay, good.
I'll just finish very quickly. Finish that.
Zobaczcie, jakie tu są krajobrazy. To jest właśnie Walia. Wzgórza, owce. Są owce? A gdzie te owce są? Są. Sheepshaggers. Słuchajcie, piwa, no takie właśnie niezbyt wyraziste, takie po środku. Szału nie ma, no ale rozumiem ich podejście, nie? To się sprzedaje. Chcą mieć takie piwo, które dotrze do przeciętnego. Właśnie muszę zapytać Simona, jaki jest Janusz po walijsku, nie? Taki walijski Janusz to będzie kto? John czy inny? Piwa nie podeszły. Znaczy one nie były złe, mógłbym je pić, nie? Natomiast no, żadne mnie nie urwało dupy, no. Czy z... O, tutaj sobie siądę na paletach. Będzie kraft. This is craft. Chodzi o to, że a z tyłu widok. I keski tam stoją. Chodzi o to, że no ja jestem jednak za rewolucją. No. Tutaj ten Simon Buckley, on prezentuje zupełnie inne podejście. To jest taki browar, można powiedzieć, troszkę z taką polityką browaru regionalnego. Byśmy to mogli porównać do jakichś tam... No jest dużo mniejszy niż Ciechan, ale oni chyba robią 8000 hektar rocznie, nie? Czyli no nie za dużo. A naciorali tych marek tyle, że hej. Trochę to jest taki, wiecie, sny o dawnej świetności, nie? Sny o tym, znaczy sny, no jak oni tutaj robili, no to rzeczywiście to był jakiś jeden z największych browarów tutaj w okolicy. Dzisiaj mają taki browar, który jest no jednym z mniejszych. Próbują coś robić, mają jakąś swoją wizję. No ale na pewno nie są to goście rewolucjoniści, nie są to piwowarzy domowi, którzy się dorwali do ważenia i nagle będą robić rewolucję, nie, to jest właśnie tradycja, takie myślenie. Właśnie, nawet bardziej niż Ciechana, to on mi przypomina podejście belgijskich browarów. Belgijskie browary, oni też podkreślają, że tam tyle pokoleń waży i tak dalej. I robią takie piwa niezbyt wyraziste, bo oni uważają, że oni troszkę gardzą tą rewolucją. Mówią, że to w ogóle nie jest w porządku, żeby tak napierniczać tym chmielem. Tak się nie robi. To jest bardzo belgijskie podejście. Tak, Family Brewers Belgium Family Brewers of Belgium to mają identyko podejście. Identyko. No i to jest trochę ta nudna Belgia, nie? To jest taka nudna Walia. Pogoda zimno. Ochłodziło się minimalnie, jest tak 25-26. Mocne zachmurzenie, jak widzicie. Na szczęście nie pada. Słuchajcie, ale żebyśmy 100 łapek nie dobili, nawet 50% łapek nie ma, no to jest jednak troszkę siara, no. Że ja muszę żebrać o te łapki za każdym razem, to jest też żenujące. Jak wam się podobał filmik z Thomas Hardy's? Thomas Hardy's Ale. Walijski Janusz będzie Walii? Może. Muszę zapytać Simona. Polska czeka na piwo o nazwie Toxic. Toxic Silly Beer. Albo Toxic Silly People. Nie, Simon generalnie się przejął całą sytuacją, ale co jest śmieszne, że Simon się przejął, że to do wszystkich dojdzie. Wobec czego postanowił, że wszystkich, których spotyka, opowiada tą sytuację, zamiast w ogóle siedzieć cicho powiedzieć, a dobra, kurwa, powiedziałem to powiedziałem, no, trudno, nie? Że on nic takiego strasznego nie powiedział, no powiedział silly people, no silly people, no to jest, wiesz, to na pewno nie jest fucking Wonker. Natomiast no wyszło, że on to strasznie przeżył. On to strasznie przeżył i teraz mówię, wszystkim chodzi i opowiada, że taka sytuacja była, zamiast olać sprawę. No. Dokładnie. Dokładnie ta kobieta zrobiła taki rage na niego. No, ja rozumiem, że mogło ją to ubuść, ale to też nie jest w porządku, żeby robić z tego taką aferę. Ale spoko, to jeszcze było do przeżycia. Natomiast dziwi mnie podejście Simona, że on teraz chodzi i wszystkim piwowarom, których spotyka dzisiaj, opowiada o tym. Tak jakby się tłumaczył, tak jakby nie wiem. Eee, z tyłu jest lotnisko? Nie, chyba nie. Nic nie wiem. Legia z Cork City, właśnie, z irlandzkim zespołem, no to teoretycznie powinni to wygrać. Ale gdzie gramy? W Cork, tak? Na wyjeździe? Czy gramy? Gdzie Legia gra? W Cork, no. No miejmy nadzieję, że wygrają chociaż, no. O której? Bilety wyprzedane, sami Polacy kupili. Gramy u siebie. W pucharach kibicuję Legii. Staram się, znaczy to cieszę się każdymi sukcesami polskich drużyn w europejskich pucharach, bo to po prostu wzmacnia polską piłkę, no, w całości, nie? Więc, więc, no, życzę każdej drużynie, Lechowi, tam Jagiellonii i tak dalej. Życzę, żeby doszli jak najdalej, bo to tam nas wspiera w tym. Może i jest lotnisko. Tak, Simon ma dzisiaj największy dzień przyrostu subów w swojej karierze. Dzięki temu filmowi Thomas Hardys i tam mojemu zachęceniu, żeby ludzie go klikali. Tak jest, Wilu jak zwykle dostarcza sprawdzone informacje, tam jest wszystko pokazane. Tak. Kupiłem kartę angielską, EE. Podobno mają najlepsze zasięgi, najlepszy internet, jeżeli chodzi o szybkość. Także 5 giga za 15 funtów. Straszne były z tym problemy. Ja troszkę nie zrozumiałem idei, bo dostałem nawet kartę prepaida, znaczy prepaida, SIM card. Dostałem kartę SIM, tylko że ja w domu używam zawsze na abonament, więc ja też nie jestem do końca przyzwyczajony. Kupiłem tego SIM-a, znaczy dostałem tego SIM-a, no i mówię, kurwa, co, SIM nic nie działa, nie? Znaczy działał przez chwilę, internet się skończył. A się okazało, że trzeba doładować konto. I jeszcze przede wszystkim trzeba wykonać jeden telefon. Jeden telefon trzeba wykonać. Ja tego nie zrobiłem, więc ten SIM mi nie zadziałał. Ja chciałem go zarejestrować na tej stronie ich i miałem straszne problemy, więc poszedłem do marketu kupić następnego SIM carda, bo mówię, dostaliśmy za darmo, to tanie pieniądze psy jedzą, dał nam gówno jakieś, pewnie przeterminowano. Okazuje się, że bierzemy kartę 15 funtów, a na kasie funt. Mówię, kurna, jakaś zepsuta. No i się okazuje, że tak, wszystko dobrze. Trzeba doładować sobie te 15 funtów przez telefon. Musiałem wklikać cały numer karty, wszystkie informacje. Doładować 15 funtami i potem dopiero wybrać ten plan 15 funtów, co wreszcie się udało zrobić po zadzwonieniu przez Simona na infolinię. Ale generalnie był burdel. I najlepsze było, jak podawałem adres e-mail i każdą literę żeśmy podawali z tym. Czekajcie, T jest co? No w każdym razie tym amerykańskim systemem, nie? O like Oscar. K like Kilo. No, ale w końcu się to wszystko... T-Tango, tak jest. Tango Alpha Foxtrot Delta. Ja to się kiedyś starałem nauczyć, a się nie nauczyłem w końcu. No, także ten alfabet wojskowy, amerykański, dokładnie. Ale no już mamy to, także będziemy nadawać. Mam nadzieję, że to wystarczy na jakieś 2-3 dni. Nie chciałbym, żeby się wszystko skończyło. Co to za palety za domą? No palety zawsze są w browarze. Muszą być. Foxtrot Uniform Tango Kilo. Pozdro z Singapuru. Pozdrawiam. Idziemy do tego pubu chyba. Ale tu chyba będę musiał przerwać, albo się przerzucę na tego LTE, no bo wychodzimy, to Wi-Fi się skończy. We're going to a pub?
Yeah, we can keep it going. We'll just
Well,
a
you
minute,
lose it,
minute
you
on.
lose it because of the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, but I try to do it on my on phone, yeah?
Okay.
Także na chwilę się rozłączamy, za chwilę wrócimy.
What time are we at?
Um,
Simon, I've just got to pick something up. See whether there's any prices to deal with, and then I'll...
Jesteśmy już chyba na internecie telefonicznym. Jest LTE, więc powinno być dobrze. Jedziemy do pubu. Typowy walijski pub. Wellies to gumiaki, bo to są te Wellingtony, nie? Simon, I have a question. How you call typical Welshman? What is the name? John or Walii?
Jones?
Jones? But this is surname, but I mean
Evans,
name.
Jones,
But I mean name.
Die.
Die?
D-A-I.
Die like die.
David.
David.
David is the most popular name in Wales, and a lot of people with the name David, they shorten it to
Dave.
No, Die.
Die.
In England, Dave. In Wales, Die.
Die as a Dave.
Come on, Die, let's go down the pub. Come on, Die. That's the typical.
Typical Janusz. Typical die.
Maybe you put moustache on it.
Yeah, you should. Typical die has mustache, not.
No, maybe, yeah.
A typical Polish guy in UK have mustache?
No.
You
But I was
haven't
thinking
noticed?
I was thinking about your. Look at this.
Yeah, I know.
Embarrassing old van, like I'm trying to open the blooming door. Well, maybe we just throw it over.
200 people, 200 widzów, 123 łapki w górę, nie najgorzej, nie będę narzekał. We're going by car.
No.
To the
Yeah.
pub.
I'm just putting this.
There are greetings from Wrexham, Wales.
Wrexham. But generally good comments, Tomek?
Yeah. Zawsze jak podchodzę do tego samochodu, to podchodzę od strony kierowcy. Nie chcę tam siadać. To znaczy, czyli ja myślę, że od strony pasażera, a to jest... Jedziemy. Może dam wam do przodu, będzie ciekawszy widok.
I think we do windows. And we wait. Simon will come out now, but maybe if we turn it to us, we can have a quick chat.
They say, Simon, that no worries, mate. Poland supports you, so...
What I'd like to say is a massive thank you. Today has been a record-breaking day for the channel. really wanted Tomek to try the Thomas Hardy's ale, but the response from the Polish public to come and subscribe to my channel has just been almost like wanting to cry. It's just amazing because back in 2013 I had one day where somebody in Sweden puts a link in Reddit and I had 150 subscribers in one day, and that was my record. Today by 12 p.m.
Check.
Let's check live. But by 12 p.m. it was 168. So half a day it already blew my record of subscribers to the channel, 168.
Efekt Kopyra.
But we will have exactly the effect that Tomek has had has been unbelievable. It's 201. Let me show you that. Look at that, guys. 201 Polish subscribers subscribe to the channel. Let's have a look live together. Let's do it live.
And few from Wales.
Look at that! There's another. There's another 10. So 210 probably subscribers from Poland. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much.
Okay. We're waiting for Simon.
We're just waiting for Simon. He's making sure there's no crisis in the brewery, and then he's going to follow us. He's going to take us to the pub. This is going to be very different. All of the bottles were probably carbonated, but we're going to be tasting now his cask beer, which is very, very good. Kuru was a very good tasting beer, and I think it's probably because they had the original recipe anyway for Rev James. Maybe it's something like the original brains played around with the recipe for Rev James. That was probably Kuru was probably the original recipe for Rev James, which is really important. It's important, but
Kupiłem sobie takie serki małe.
eat some cheese. Yeah, I think we should maybe let me hold this for you. But 211 people, 213 people. Thank you for watching. We'll be back in the pub tonight. I think I can hear a car reversing. Maybe not. We'll be back in the pub tonight for another pub call. There he goes. We'll follow him up.
Jagular.
He's waiting for the police now.
Waiting for the police?
They went past that way. You know, we had a tasting. Probably 0.8, yeah, 0.7. What do you call it?
Hopefully. Always look on the bright side of life.
Yeah, let's go this way, Tomek. Let's point this way.
Simona filmiki, czy moje filmiki?
Okay, let's go. Let's face this way. Let's show Formula One. Robert Kubica. So this is a typical Welsh street in West Wales, the Brewery tap. It's called, off the top of my head, I think it's called the White Lion, or it's the White Hart.
Don't crush summer
Horse. No, it's horse.
like Robert did it.
It's the Brewery tap. It's called, off the top of my head, I think it's called the White Lion, or White Horse. It's the White Horse. Here we go.
Ładny kościół. Właśnie Simon mówi, że Simon Buckley mówi, że no już mieli tu zamykać parafię katolicką, ale najechało tyle Polaków, że ja mówię, no parafia dostała nowe życie.
maybe speaking to local beer drinker.
Rastafari.
So this is the pub on the right.
White Horse Inn.
White Horse Inn. It's the brewery tap.
Maybe you park at the parking there.
No, it's free here.
But
I'll be okay for you.
okay. Zajmuje się Simon na co dzień. Simon jest carpenterem, czyli takim cieślą, monterem różnych rzeczy. Stolarzem nie do końca, bo stolarz to robi krzesła, nie? Czy szafy. A żeś zaparkował, Simon. Tak, wymienia drzwi. No tak, cieśla robi dachy, nie? Hello,
Hello.
Tomasz
Noel
from
runs-
Poland.
No, Noel runs the pub for us.
No rooms?
No. Noel runs the pub. He's the pub manager.
Ah, okay.
Well, what's interesting about this pub is, here, yeah. This is with the place for the.
Yeah, this is for a cask. Yeah?
Yeah, that we bring the cashes down.
To jest oryginalna taki zjazd na keski. You use your pillow for
The cellars that are in
In
here.
the cellar.
but no. When you when the
The draymen.
yeah,
The draymen, they bring them down.
and they
put
use
them in
pillow.
No, just straight in there.
A, okej. Jesteśmy na Wi-Fi tutaj pubowym, całkiem niezłym. Evan Evans, the Welsh Brewers. Yeah.
So, what would you like
Hello.
to try? This is Charles. Charles has been with us a long time.
Tomasz.
This is
Very
Tom.
nice to meet you, Tom.
Nice to meet you.
Are you from anywhere interesting in Poland?
And what? Once
Where
more,
where are you from in Poland?
I'm from near the Wrocław. Wrocław is the southwest part of Poland, near German and Czech Republic.
Right, you're down that side, yes.
You are? Yeah, where?
Elizabeth, who works here, is from near,
The Russian border.
she's up near Danzig,
Gdańsk.
Gdansk now.
Yeah, Danzig is German name.
Yes,
The
yes.
Gdańsk is Polish. Yeah.
Right. So what we want to do is we want to introduce Tom now to a new and very special part of the beer scene in Wales. Forget all this craft stuff. You are now in the home of Evan Evans Brewery. Charles and Noel are responsible for the day-to-day running of the pub. But this is where you drink Evan Evans beer in its most natural form. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a pint of kuru to try.
Mm-hmm.
How do
Sure.
you like that idea? So Charles, could we-
I try to show you how it looks when you.
What's very important now, Thomas, is when the pint comes up on the bar, Charles, can you look up on the bar? We can show, Thomas, is that the beer, like champagne, clears from the bottom of the glass up,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's got a very tight, creamy head. Looking at it, try it and see. Simon, are you having a half pint? Or
I'll have a third if I can. I'm driving the car.
Course.
Sorry. The van.
Temperatura gdzieś tak pewnie jakieś 16 stopni. Bardzo takie it's malty and fruity esters.
That's it. And it should have a nice dry hop finish. Can I have a half pint, Charles? Otherwise I should be totally shallow for it.
Completely different beer.
Totally different.
Totally.
Yeah.
And more malty, more creamy, more soft, more velvety. And it's of course the texture and
The mouthfeel is totally different.
yeah.
And that's why this is a Rolls-Royce cask beer. It's the very best. This, Steve, is going live to Poland. Thomas is one of the top... As we speak, yes. You could come and put your face on here. And, yes.
I only know a few Polish words and I swear with.
Well, no, thank you. Yes, we don't.
I'm sure which are.
That's my best one.
So, at the end of the day, you're in a traditional Welsh pub. We normally serve 4 cask beers at any one time, sometimes 5. These are the core beers, so you'll have our BB, which is the weakest, Cwrw, which is here by far the biggest, Warrior, which is our premium beer, which you haven't tasted yet. And then we'll always have a seasonal beer, which is, you know, one of the ones we do, one of the 40 we do every year.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll taste that in a minute, and then we'll end up with Warrior. So what it's all about really is offering the consumer lots of choice, lots of different beers.
Yeah, the bitterness is also prominent, more distinct probably than in the bottle.
In the bottle, yeah.
There is also a hint of cherries from I don't know, maybe
Cascade is the aroma and
Aroma hop.
right at the end, and so you'll get a little bit of citrus, but the malt is
yeah.
very distinct and very positive. I don't know whether you guys have seen
Jedziemy teraz z Wi-Fi pubowego, które jest bardzo dobre, 70 downloadu, także wiecie. 180 people watching.
There we are. Isn't that fantastic?
180, yeah.
180 people watching the White Horse can dilate on the Tuesday
In
after.
Poland and UK, but
here.
Polish people, yeah.
Yeah, watching from
Just in case.
Poland.
This is a good
And
one.
they need to know that the part of the White Horse, we have Polish workers who work here. Our cleaner is very much a very proud and very prominent Polish lady in this town. So it's all good stuff. But this is what a traditional Welsh pub is like.
Mm-hmm. They write that it's quite silent here. It's
Will
typical,
be.
or it's too early.
Too early. Another hour or so and it'll be really busy.
Beer is important.
Yeah.
It's like a religious experience. We like to think of this as a cathedral. A cathedral to beer.
Right, Charles, that was
Upload jest oczywiście ważniejszy, ale upload też jest dobry, bo jest chyba 30.
Charles gets a few likes for that.
No i ping jest ważny.
We're born to be on the stage, Charles.
No, są tu koncerniaki, bo jest tak, Carlsberg, jest San Miguel, Thatcher's Cider, także koncerniaki są. What is the biggest seller comparing to Carlsberg and so on? Kuru? Kuru is the biggest seller. How many casks a week?
well. We would probably do here because this is quite a small pub by you know city standards. But we'd probably do. I'm taking a guess. And probably on the upside, probably 3,000, 4,000 pints a week.
4,000 pints a week. Only this beer? Oh, a whole?
Probably
Total.
two of that. No, of the cask beers.
Most popular. Second most popular. Yes,
Of course.
of
Yeah.
Of course we
We
do.
do, yeah. No, we do by a factor of 2 to 1. That's all. Not when it's very hot though. When it's very hot, like it is at the moment, obviously
Yeah.
people drink cider and lager far more. But, you know, why wouldn't you? Look at that natural product. Look at it going down
Definitely.
the glass.
Lacing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Także nie wiem jak to z tym Carlsbergiem.
Right, Charles.
Eee,
Anything rude, you keep to yourself, Tom.
Yes.
See you again.
You're off now.
I'm off now.
Missed you dancing at the weekend.
high summer, rose-colored summer beer.
It's not quite rose-coloured, but
But
try
the
it and see.
color is from juice or from...
No, from the natural malt. It's actually a golden beer. We've taken the name, the description isn't quite right, but
Is a lovely summer beer.
Mhm.
Perfect for the hot weather.
we've gone down one now. We decided we're getting tight with our samples or something.
Is that it?
No, I think we need to move up then up the line and
Sorry.
Exactly.
our poor friend will.
Live podcast, Poland.
How are you, Mariam?
Hello, Charles.
Don't be shy, come and join us.
Golden ale. It's really golden ale. Easy drinking, nothing sharp or nothing aggressive here. Drinking, not thinking, not.
That's it. Drinking, not thinking. Yeah. it's all about nice, refreshing beer, nice bitterness.
But it's in an artisan series. So what is why you put it in artisan series, not traditional one? What is the reason?
Because the reason is that it's a beer that in the summer months has that artisan can't always be hoppy bitter beers. There has to be one or two in the range that are
Okay.
that people will take to and go for. So
Mhm.
yes, it's in my mind it's a lovely summer beer. It's light, refreshing. It's got the malt, but it hasn't got. It's not sweet or
Yeah.
cloying. It's
Yeah.
nice and clean.
It's malty but not sweet, not.
Charles, I'll have a half of it, please. Simon Martin's gagging. for
Yes, I'd like a half. Thank you very much.
Piwa oczywiście są w temperaturze bliskie chyba nawet powyżej 18 stopni, dlatego że jest po prostu bardzo gorąco. Where you have
Yes, please.
where you have your casks in a cellar
In the
or
cellar, yeah.
cellar downstairs?
No, ground
Ah.
floor cellar now.
Ground floor.
What's next, Noel, after this? Are we near next yet or not?
No,
at all?
I've got one line of these to go. And then, well, you got them there.
I'd switch. What have you got next to go?
Yeah.
Nie,
I would
w
put that
porównaniu
on.
do książęcego Golden Ale, to tutaj na pewno robi robotę pompa. Pompa zupełnie zmienia teksturę, zobaczcie. Jak ja byłem w Szkocji,
That's my next investment.
to też było bardzo gorąco i po prostu piwa były wręcz ciepłe w lokalu, dlatego że oni nie przewidują po prostu chłodzenia.
Yeah, I've got one that's automated.
Będę na urodzinach Pinty 4 sierpnia w Krakowie na pewno. Premiera fantazji z chmielu z Tasmanii.
So, Tomek, in terms of Polish brewing, how is this typical?
No, we have a few pubs with hand pumps, but generally the problem is that there is not many, or to be honest, almost none casks. So
Yeah.
we use, or they use Cornelius kegs to use beer
Using
from
the hand pull.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what we. There's a system here called the Shakespeare system, which is the beer is pasteurized in the keg, and they just pull it off. But
Yeah,
this
because that kind of pouring changed many things, texture, carbonation.
This is all natural. None of this. This has all happened in the cask. So that's why it's smooth. The actual carbonation would probably be about 1.8 volumes. It's soft.
But after this pouring, it will be even lower, yeah, because it's
Perhaps not very much lower, but it comes through the 12
Sparkler.
sparkler, and that's what changes the mouthfeel.
But the good thing is that you are not feel full with carbon dioxide. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yes. So this is a summer beer. So you started with Kuru, which is a year-round beer. That's a summer beer that will be gone in the next week.
I would like to brewery bitter because it's only 3.6.
Well, yeah, we're going to try
This
Warrior.
is very good.
Very good.
The reason we would Tomek asked the question is because there was a lot of Welsh beer that not typically Welsh, but St John Smith's at 3.6. That was
Not 3.6, so it's 3.2 or something.
yeah,
less than that.
exactly. But we
There you are.
needed that type of
Thank you.
beer for volume, wasn't it? To
Well, no, it's
refresh.
historically
Very
what you-
fruity.
Historically,
Esters.
historically, you've got to remember that low gravity beer was all about the fact that people working in hot industries, traditional heavy industries, were drinking beer to replenish their liquid level, so that, and they didn't want 4% beers, But but that is actually my old family's best bitter, Buckley's best bitter.
Do you have any Polish customers here?
Yes.
They choose Carlsberg or hand pumped beer?
Kuru.
Kuru.
Sometimes they drink Kuru, but you're right. More often than not, the Carlsberg or something.
Yeah, I think that for
If I don't use that, that is what I get.
yeah, no creaminess head. So sparkler is important.
Our beers are designed to be.
But
served.
you put it each time or?
No, we
No,
keep
no.
them on. Occasionally, somebody will come in and say,
No sparkler.
no sparkler. But they have to request that, otherwise they get sparkler.
And they don't want a head on the beer, do they? They want a full.
Yeah,
a
because
full
full
glass.
pint.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't cheat on me. Yeah, this is funny. When I was first time in UK, probably it was Leeds. I was shocked that beer is poured without head, because the glass is 1 pint. There is no mark here because glass is pint. Yeah, to the top.
That's right.
Because in Europe, on the continent, you have a mark here
Yep.
and a space for head,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
foam, yeah?
But that's why you charge the price you charge for your beers. We allow, if people don't want a head, we'll fill it to the top.
Yeah.
But most people want
But-
a
but-
head because they want the aroma, because all the aroma is in the head. That's why you put it through a sparkler. You've got the last
Over?
one. Yes, but we'll go another one will go on that. We're speaking live here to Poland at the moment, so there we go.
230 live viewers, 156 likes.
It will be increasing because
hit the like button,
time
hit the
is
like
good,
button.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ale wszystkie łapki w górę, słuchajcie, no. Rosłaby liczba widzów szybciej, gdyby ten.
So I got a question. Simon, typical, this is for Simon Buckley, but I'll ask a question. Typical Welsh dishes to go with typical Welsh ale.
I think what's very important is that you've got to be, you can't be pedantic about saying one beer goes with one style of dish. What you've got, it's a combination of 3 or 4 different things. Occasion, provenance of what you're going to eat, and the third thing is the ability for the person who's cooking the food to give you the best. So if you were asking me, if I was having a steak this evening, which of these beers would I choose? I'd try to choose Kopyra or Warrior. If I was having, for example, fish or some mussels, I might cook them in the summer beer. If I was, on the other hand, looking in the depths of winter to have some game stew of some sort, I would be looking to put with that one of our stronger, darker beers. But it must always be something you A, want to drink, and B, enjoy. Not drinking it because someone like me says you must drink Warrior with stew
Warrior.
or whatever, you know?
You will like that.
Another Warrior. Champion of ales. What is the style? It's,
You try it and you tell me.
pale ale?
Classic British premium ale. In other
Premium
words,
ale.
so in other words, lots of malt flavour,
So something like
something like Warrior.
yeah, but I mean pale ale.
It's not pale ale. This is a dark ale. That's more of a pale ale, Kuru. That is a classic premium British beer. In other words,
Extra ESB, extra strong bitter.
yes,
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, something like that. And what it would be is, at the end of the day, it would be it's got a hint of chocolate malt in there.
Yeah,
Can you get that
there
little
is,
bit,
yeah.
just a little bit at the back that gives it complexity? And the other thing is the hop varieties in there are Willamette, which is an American Fuggle style hop, and what it gives is it gives a lovely depth of fruitiness in it. And it is a premium beer, and it drinks very easily. So you've got to be careful with Warrior, because at 4.6%, it's a beer where we have a very good expression for your viewers in Poland, and it's called Siarad Bollocks, which means Siarad is the Welsh and Bollocks is, in other words, you talk nonsense if you drink too much of it. You know? So.
BB was just going up. That's a fresh one, just straight out of the.
I'll have that in a moment, thank you very much. Straight out to the cask. Now there it is out of the cask, BB. But you're going round in circles a bit now, so we better.
BB,
Thank you.
fresh BB.
That's fresh BB.
Ah, colder. It was BB. Completely different beer, because
First out of the barrel.
cask beer change with time, yeah. Because
Absolutely.
how long you sell one cask?
Well,
2 days,
no-
3 days?
No,
3 days, yeah.
Oh,
But
oh,
but
oh,
it's
that
it
one.
different first day and third day. It's completely
will be.
different beer, yeah.
Yeah. This you sell probably 2 of these a day
Two cask a day.
at the weekend, if not more.
But I mean that what I want to say, that this is living beer, yeah.
Absolutely.
That it's changing with time and with the air.
Actually, absolutely. As the oxygen enters the cask, so it will, you know, it will change the character of the beer. But you know, you had the very last one. You've had the very first one.
Exactly.
And
The totally different beer.
exactly.
Of course, there's also. Simon, could you
Yeah, of course.
keep it? There is, of course, difference in temperature, because the fresh one is colder, but the fresh one is clean, more bitter,
Yes.
less fruity, less malty. The old one is a bit ready, or maybe dull,
that's because it's got wheat malt in it, and the wheat malt, which gives the head retention, is will give you in a beer that is slightly older. It'll give you that slightly more break taste.
Yeah.
But this is designed to be for the people who've been working, come out, have a great time, and drink lots of air.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So there we go.
Check some money with you.
Saying, Simon, did I switch the microphone? I'm not sure if there's a problem with it.
Znaczy, mikrofon jest skierowany w tą stronę, więc jeżeli Simon przełącza, no to wiadomo, że mikrofon gorzej zbiera, nie? Dlatego nie prosiłem go o to, żeby brał kamerę do ręki, filmował z tamtej kamery, tylko żeby przytrzymał po prostu tu kamerę ręką, no ale trudno.
Simon, I gave, talking about a few other beers, I gave
To jest kierunkowy mikrofon, tak.
yesterday a bottle of Thomas Hardy's ale from
40 years. 40 years old.
But I could have we could have opened it here, couldn't we? And then, because you would have been a master at a 40-year-old beer.
But beer doesn't improve by being old.
Yeah, but I totally agree that this beer or similar beers gain with 3-5 years maximum. After that, there is only the knowledge that you drink 40-year-old beers.
Exactly. And here's
And
the
it's still drinkable, yeah?
yeah. Well, that's the plus, is it's still drinkable.
Yeah, it was a bit sour, but generally it was drinkable, yeah.
What's most important about any beer is designed to be drunk fresh. It's designed to be, all the characteristics it has in it are characteristics that are for now. They're not for down the track. If you brew something that is 11 or 12% and you fill the cask right to the top and you bang in a shive and you leave it, the chances are, if it's a wooden cask, the chances are out of every 10 casks, probably 3 or 4 will survive, but it may produce a very fine beer at the end of it after 3 or 4 years. The likelihood is that the wooden cask wasn't clean when you put it in there, and God knows what might have happened.
Right.
since.
Okay. You seem by guessing some of the.
But you know, barrel aging is a hot thing in craft beer industry.
Yeah, but as I've told you, the craft beer industry. Look, within the craft beer industry, there are lots of people who brew some truly exciting beers. But you know, perhaps this isn't the right interview to talk it through with, but here's the truth of it. There is an awful lot of craft beer that is an excuse for a new style of beer, which is absolutely awful. It's not well made, it's not well thought through.
You mean
Well,
New England?
well, no, I'm
Vermont,
not.
maybe the Vermont stuff.
Well, you know, take in Wales, for example. People have been to America, they've gone to these craft bars, and they've got sucked into the whole thing about craft beer. But they don't understand the science behind it. Whereas a lot of the Americans are very, very good at the science. So you get a situation whereby people believe, and I'll give you an example, there's a well-known beach town brewery not far from here that believes that they should be tipping in to the end of the fermentation for aroma 50 kilos of Simcoe hops
For how
a
much?
30 barrel brew.
30 barrel.
So at the end of it, they're putting something like £26 a barrel's worth of aroma hops into a fermenting vessel, which goes down the drain. Doesn't make sense, because the beer doesn't command a premium. The second and most important thing is it doesn't dramatically change the flavour. And most importantly is people just won't pay that price for
Are
it.
we talking to get a bit technical? Are we talking about double dry hopping here? Is that what you would?
It's
this
not
whole
double.
process-
It's not double dry hopping. It's dry hopping.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
it's going in the fermenting vessel.
That's it. Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and at the end of it, you're getting this beer coming out. It's green in colour because
Yeah.
of the hops.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just shrugged my shoulders.
I know what you mean, but I'm generally for putting
But
a ridiculous amount of hops in beer.
but what does it do for you? Because here's the question. Here's the question.
Great aroma.
Yeah, but aroma's only part of the beer process. It's not a taste. Aroma isn't a taste.
Yeah, but aroma, flavor. Yeah,
Yeah, but
dry hopping could really change the beer radically.
We dry hop.
Yeah, I know, but dry hopping with ridiculous amount of hops, is for sure it's expensive. It's in the case of economy probably ridiculous, but on the other hand, gives great effects. Sometimes it's
You have
not.
to do it right. You have to
Yeah,
do it right.
of course, but it could be harsh
Yeah. The
in the throat. Yeah, but
we had a beer
generally I know that it's not a beer for everyone, but I'm not
We go
everyone.
back to.
Yeah?
We go back. No, I know you.
I like this crazy beers. Yeah.
But here's the answer to the question: if a brewery is to survive, it has to have some commercial aspects to it.
Of course, and if you have a brewery in a place where you have a lot of new wave customers,
Then it'll work.
it will work. Yeah. If you try to sell it here, probably you bankrupt. Yeah, because not many people like so aggressive
I've argued with this man.
aromas, taste, and so on. Yeah.
I've argued with this man on many occasions why people have this ridiculous, why these people have this ridiculous view towards cloudy beer. I mean, if beer was meant to be drunk cloudy, why would we spend so much of our time getting them brilliantly bright? And you can inject beer with whatever you like, but the simple fact is, beer, if you drink it cloudy, you're drinking yeast. Yeast has a negative bitterness flavour, and it is at the end of the day a flavour that most people don't like.
I tell you what was the beginning. The beginning was we want to sell our beer as fresh as possible, so we can't wait for clarity. Yeah, we sell it hazy because we want to sell it as fresh as possible, and it will be very hoppy because it's fresh. But of course, there are some bad things like giving flour.
No. Finings.
No findings. You make bread from it.
Yeah, flour.
Flour.
Yeah.
To beer, to haze it.
Oh no,
Which is crazy.
No.
For me, it's crazy.
No way.
But they did it because
in
people. No, in the US, people want hazy. We give it. Yeah, they put starch in a beer and it haze it. Yeah. For me, it's completely ridiculous. But it's true that beer which is fresh, which is unfiltered, which is untreated in any ways, is more aromatic, more fresh, more hoppy, and so on. You know that each kind of filtration reduces the aroma. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't. But fining doesn't reduce aroma.
Yeah, it's probably it is.
I disagree. Let me argue this point. If you're saying that beer should be drunk fresh to preserve aroma and all the rest of it, then that means you've got to carbonate it to give it condition. The moment you introduce carbon dioxide to the whole process, you're entering a harsh palate taste to the... And what I would say to you is this. For every one person that wants this super fresh idea, there are 9 who don't. Because those 9 don't want to be drinking something that's cloudy. If we serve a cloudy pint in here,
But
it would be...
it's a bit cloudy.
No, that's the first one I'd
Maybe
buy.
cloudy, not.
That's
the
the
last one.
end. That's the last one out. So forget that one. But, well, no, forget that one because look.
Yeah,
at that.
I know.
You know.
I've been in Great Trees brewery where they serve.
My friend Ray. My friend Ray.
Ray. They serve clear beers, and they say that they believe that beer should be clear, and I respect this attitude. But on the other hand, I admire this very hoppy hazy beer. You know,
But
you
it's
said
right.
you said that yeast increase bitterness and so on. Yeah, but on the other hand, Weizens from Germany were always hazy, and it changed the texture like the hand pumps. The presence of yeast, the presence of yeast sediment, change the beer, change your experience.
This is coming off yeast sediment. These are all coming off yeast sediment, but they're not cloudy. And here's the point at the end.
Because you use finings, yeah, and it keep the yeast at the end, yeah,
But it's still
at the bottom.
when the cask is delivered, it's still in suspension and doing all that. That's what gives it its natural head. But here's the point at the end of the day. If there are people who want to drink cloudy beer,
Exactly.
then let them drink cloudy beer.
Exactly.
But we won't be producing it because we don't believe that it's an
Yeah,
important part.
you have
And
your
I'm sure
you
many
have
of your
traditional approach, yeah.
well, no, we have the modern approach, which is modern approach is to
But not as modern as hazy beers, yeah.
or hazy ciders. But you know, hazy ciders, for example,
Unfiltered.
Yeah, but the main cider is filtered. The hazy part is pasteurized, and then it's added back. That's how they make it. It's not
And-
a question of it being a
And
natural product.
this is a bit ridiculous, yeah.
Well, it is, and that's why I think the whole cloudy beer thing is ridiculous.
This conversation is making the viewership go crazy, by the way. There's lots of opportunity of interest because, yeah, it's a good topic of debate. I think we should carry on. I'd like to add something.
Well, you
to
talk
this.
nonsense on this subject.
I know, but I would like to add something on this, and that would be, and I would like to see Warrior put into a pen down whiskey cask. How do you think that will go, Simon?
Warrior is too
It's 2 week.
too weak, yeah,
it's 2
exactly.
week. It's 4.6. We're bringing out as the latter part this year, as part of our celebration of 250 years family brewing. We are producing a malt whiskey locally at the local distillery, and we're producing 5 hogsheads. A hogshead being 54 gallons, and we're producing
54 gallons means gallon is how many liters?
8 pints.
8 pints.
I don't know.
4.5 litres, isn't it?
5 liters, something like that. Yeah,
that's
gallon
4.5,
is
5 litres per gallon. Yeah.
so 54.
Yes.
So it's well, that's typical something like 200 liters barrel. Yeah.
There. So what we're doing is we're doing this so that we can, at the end of the day, we're producing a malt whiskey, and I'm giving 1 hogshead to my grandson Harry, who is 8, for his 21st
To keep
birthday.
it for
For his
the
21st
birthday. Yeah. Cool.
And Edward.
But whiskey or beer?
Whiskey, but the story goes before. So then Edward, my second grandson, who is 1, his will be, so Edward's 8 this year, so it'll be 12 years old, no, 13 years old when it's bottled and drunk. I may not be around.
I was thinking that he would give him this in a barrel, not in
no,
bottles.
no, it is in a barrel, but for him to then bottle when he's 21. And then Edward, my second grandson, who's only just 1, it'll be 20 years, so the same whiskey will be drunk at 13 years, and we, for our pubs, will have it 3 hogsheads to be bottled and drunk in our pubs at years 5, 8 and 10. After 10 I may not be around, so but to go on to so what we're also doing is at the same time is we're producing a very strong 11% beer that will be going
Imperial
in,
stout
it'll be going
or
in,
barley wine?
no, it won't be barley wine. It'll be, we haven't quite worked out what it's going to be yet, but it'll be a strong dark beer, somewhere towards a barley wine. But the aim being not to be overly sweet, and we will put that into hogsheads to, to actually mature, but only for 18 months at the most.
Yeah, 18 months. If you have very fresh and very intensive barrel, like bourbon barrels, which is used for only once,
Yeah.
it takes only 3 to 6 months to get the barrel aging character for a beer.
But what we're looking for a softness in the beer that then takes on some of the flavour of the whiskey, but we don't want a whiskey beer as such. So what are they saying? What are our friends in Poland saying? Rude things?
No. They said that they really admire the uh, arguing in a good manner about totally different approach to making beer, to different attitudes, and uh, yeah, they said that they really appreciate the discussion.
It's going out.
It's arguments and you know.
But it's live from Wales, people. Welcome. Croeso Cymru. We're very pleased to welcome you to Llandeilo.
So how old is the pub? This is the question. Will you if you show the pub?
1823. Well, the pub's, you know, it's very old, but it looks it's falling down at the moment. But it's home of Evan Evans. This is, you know, there's a lot of debate and politics and all sorts discussed in here. And what makes it a great place is nobody's right other than me. But that's not true either. Catherine, Catherine's just arrived, and Catherine's one of our young members of staff, and we're speaking live to Poland.
Oh, brilliant! Hey.
Mind your language.
Yes,
Because I'm always so rude.
Thomas is one of the top beer bloggers from Poland, and for the last hour and a bit we've been speaking to the masses in Poland about Welsh brewing and trying to share with them some, you know, and some ideas that we've got, and the idea that craft brewing may not be, you know, it's very important, and it's very, in fact, what people don't really understand about craft brewing is that what it's actually done is it's actually given people the opportunity to talk about what was otherwise a very boring subject. Beer for a long time had no interest.
Exactly.
And now people talk about it. I may not share your views. You almost
I'm
certainly won't share my views.
Of course.
Simon Martin doesn't have any views of his own, so I just try and help him out from time to time. But the reality is, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who have no experience in brewing that are very vigorous and vibrant on the internet with their ideas and everything.
It's a hot topic, yeah.
And so from my point of view, as someone who's probably coming towards the end of his career, I would just simply say this: yes, but respect the fact that at the end of the day, you have a view, I have a view. For any one person to say that your view is wrong, or my view is wrong, or his view is wrong, is total nonsense. At the end of the day, people must respect it. And I know there are beer bloggers in Wales who don't, and they just need to be put firmly in their place.
Yeah. So maybe this is a coincidence, but I have a T-shirt on my idea. It is RIS, which is for Russian Imperial Stout, but it's respect. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and
Yeah, and
that's exactly what it's about.
Yeah, I
You know?
respect your attitude. I'm not for it. I prefer more aggressive, more hop forward or barrel age forward beers and so on. But I know what you mean. I know what you're looking for in beer and why your beers are this way. So, yeah.
But the most important thing that you as a promoter of beer must, in my mind, do is make people who are brewing beer brew good, whatever it is they want to do, make sure it's good quality, that it's biologically stable, you know, that it is well
But you
made.
know, if you, of course, but there are some crazy guys in the beer brewing world who make really crazy things, and sometimes it's a shit, but sometimes something really glorious, yeah, really
People who brew
excellent, yeah.
people who brew beers that have IBU of 80 to 100
That's
and don't offset it with an element of sweetness are brewing for a very small minority.
Of course, but this is the thing, that if you have a small brewery, you can brew beer you like.
That's absolutely perfect. But the point I'm trying to make is, because of what you're doing right now, which is you're speaking to a lot of people through a medium called Facebook Live or whatever it is.
YouTube.
YouTube. The reality is this at the end of the day. You are very vociferous about a segment of the marketplace. And what we always forget in the UK is that those are the most vociferous don't necessarily represent the broad church of where we're
Of
at.
course.
What you're affecting is change, which is perfect. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Excuse me.
But I don't believe that, and I see it in Wales all the time, that there are a minority who believe their view is the only view. I know you don't think that, and having spent the afternoon with you, and I respect that. But the issue at the end of the day is, of the 100 people who drink a pint of beer in Cardiff at the weekend, there will be 5 or 10 who want the crazy beers.
Yes.
They'll drink half a pint or 1 pint of it, no more.
And drink 10 or 15 different, yeah?
May do. Depends how wealthy they are. Because the other thing that goes with these beers is that they're ferociously expensive,
Exactly.
and they don't need to be. For people who tell you
when,
that,
when you use ridiculously amount of hops, it's cost, yeah?
yeah, but you don't still look. For ages and ages, people were selling a 30-litre keg of beer in this country for £125 a keg. People were piling into it because it was a massive amount of money. In London, they were paying whatever it was, £5-6 a pint. But they don't need to spend that to drink great quality beer. You know, to pay £6 for a 500 ml bottle. Thank you.
I've got an idea. My idea is, Tomek is the organiser of the Wrocław Beer Festival, which I couldn't go to this year, but I hope to go to
I'm not an organizer.
2019. No, but you invite bloggers.
Yeah.
I think this would make a fun, because what we do, we get on stage with microphones to a few hundred people. This would make for a fantastic debate in Wrocław in 2019. Do you think we could do that, Tomek?
A few years ago, we have a guy from Poland who is living in UK, in the Somerset. He was a brewer in Glastonbury Ales, and he opened his own brewery, Fine Tuned Brewery, and he bring cask beer to Poland to the festival. And it wasn't success because people in Poland, craft beer geeks, beer hopheads, and so on, how we call it them, expect something really distinct, aggressive, you know. And he bring bitter, amber, or something like that.
And the conversation, not the beer.
Yeah, I mean what you mean. I know what you mean.
Here's the very simple thing. At the end of the day, the people who will attend certain styles of beer festival will be beer geeks, as you say. You will never convert them in 10 months of Sunday to another view. And all I would say is that my experience of dealing with American brewers, particularly with whom I have some very close contacts, they have now come to the conclusion that brewing 11% beers, brewing beers that are wow up there in terms of bitterness, just the consumer doesn't want it. There is a very small element of the consumer which I respect, but it's not commercial.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And you cannot do it. If you're a very small brewer who has the ability of being able to flex his muscles and do things exactly what you're talking about. But that's not what the market's about. The market is about lots of beers, well made, well crafted, microbiologically stable, that give you a pleasurable experience.
Yeah.
What about the question of, and we spoke about this in great length before, Simon, in my trade, I'm a carpenter by trade. If I had to go onto a building site, I have one here, I have to have a qualification, a card, for me just to go, this card here, for me just to go on.
You've got money in your wallet, what's going on?
Blimey, yeah. I have to have this qualification that lasts only 5 years to go onto a building site. It's called the CSCS card. Do you think that because of the growing number of breweries in the world, do you think, because you're taking liquid, you put liquid in your body, do you think this would be such a qualification
No.
to brewery?
I'm for a free market, and market will judge it.
Okay.
Well, here's my answer to that as well. I come from a traditional background of brewing excellence, where I have been taught to be good at what I do. All my people who work for me believe that as well. But here's one of the big issues for me. How can a guy who's a dairy farmer today call himself a brewer tomorrow? How can a guy who has never ever understood the science of brewing perfect the art unless they train?
But I know many homebrewers who...
Well, homebrewers is a different game. Homebrewers doing it in your own kitchen where you're producing 10 litres or 20 litres.
20 liters.
Yeah, exactly. Is fine. And I respect that. And people should always be able to have that luxury of a hobby.
Yeah, but I mean,
don't
homebrewers going pro, yeah?
Yeah, but here's the other side of it. You know, in Wales, over the last 5 years, we've seen production capacity increase by 30%. We've seen the market decline by 7% per annum.
In a sale.
In sales. So plus 35 minus 35 equals 70%. And 73% of that marketplace is dominated by the national brewers.
Nationally, you mean...
Carlsberg, Coors...
multinationals.
Multinationals. And where do their profits go? Denver, Colorado, not Llandeilo, Wales.
Yeah, it's a very good argument. It's a very, yeah.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, exactly, or Copenhagen, yeah.
Or Amsterdam.
Well, actually, Brazil now, isn't it? Heineken? No, that's AB InBev, but there we are. So, at the end of the day, look, we will all have different opinions. We will all sit in a pub, and we will all...
But we all are for, I hope so, we are all for diversity, for craft, for true beer, not mass-produced shit like they produce in Heineken, Carlsberg, or SAB Miller, and Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch, where they use rice, not malt. But that's another story. Look, but I agree with that, but not to the extent you do, because I don't believe there should be anybody should have the excuse of using a cloudy beer to say, oh, this is some weird and wonderful, you know, throat reversed,
but you know,
throat reversed, hop reversed.
You can't how to say it, disrespect to Weizen, yeah?
To what?
Weizen beer.
I don't know.
Wheat beer from
Oh, yeah.
Bavaria.
Yeah, but
You can't tell that it's bad, that it's hazy, they don't know their job or so
Thomas,
on, yeah?
No, Thomas, you're using the wrong argument to me. That is a style of beer that is designed to be drunk easy.
And
But-
we have new style, which is
You're not
designed to be
gonna- you're
hazy.
not-
It's changed the texture. It's changed many things in beer. So, yeah, I know. I
Well,
understand your
I'm sure-
attitude, but generally,
I'm sure that the people of Poland who are still drinking lager will not be won over by hazy beer.
But I don't care. Everyone drink what he wants.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. So there we are. But you know, we're not going to at the end of the day agree on every element of it.
But a fascinating conversation. And
Yeah,
actually-
we have
and-
to
and
go
the-
because we want to watch again. Yeah.
Oh, it's quite
in
nice
Cardiff.
already. Yeah, we'll pack the van and go into Cardiff. But
So-
amazing conversation. The conversation pulled in loads of likes.
Did it?
Loads.
How many people are watching us?
Even people paid donations.
No, only 3 zlotych. Don't mention
So-
it.
3 zlotys. What's that mean?
It means something like 60 pence.
Well, yeah, it's still a very nice gesture.
No.
People donated money to this conversation, to this.
I'm not doing it for
interesting.
donations. Yeah.
No. But at the end of the day, it's very good to meet. You know, you're talking to an old brewer now. It's a modern blogger.
Yeah,
a modern,
maybe if I talked with your son, it will be different discussion. Yeah.
I don't think it'll be very. It will be slightly different, of course it will. And he's far more intelligent than me. So at the end of the day, there we go. It's all I would say is at the end of the day, Thomas, it's been a great privilege to welcome you to Llandeilo. I hope that you will come again, and I hope that, more importantly, that perhaps if you and Simon find yourself at a loose end in Cardiff, you'll go and see our Cricketers pub, which is heralded as one of the great pubs of Wales.
Yeah.
And,
There's
you know,
a couple of you on there, wouldn't it?
I would have thought so.
Brilliant.
But here's the most important thing. Thank you to people like you. There's a revival in the great brewing industry. And whether I agree with your modern thinking or whether you think I'm an old fart with my thinking, doesn't really matter. What really matters is that the great brewing industry that needs to be protected from the multinationals is something that we have to look to protect through people like you promoting new ideas, new views, new thinking, by all means. And then it's for old boys like me to perhaps just decide that some of these ideas might just work, but we need to tweak them to do things. And if we can talk like we have done now for the last hour or two to 200-300 people who are enthusiastic beer supporters wherever they are in the world, then thank God for modern technology.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that was great. Really
Cheers.
good.
Yachida.
Yahida is salute in
Yes.
Welsh.
What is it in Polish?
Na zdrowie.
Nastrovia.
What is Yahida?
Yachida is good health.
Good health, the same.
Yes, yes.
Good health is na zdrowie in Polish. Yahida?
Yachida. Yeah.
Yahida.
Yeah.
Yahida.
Yachida.
Great. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm going to go through that. And then we'll
To jest to właśnie, co chciałem uzyskać od Simona. Jakie tu się wznosi toasty? So, Yahida.
Yachida.
Like in Scotland is...
We don't know about Scotland. We don't know too much about Scotland. But what's very yes, all we know is that here in the White Horse from
Yahida.
Yachida. Yeah. So there we go. So there we are, Catherine. You've witnessed modern technology at its very best.
I'm enjoying
Yeah.
listening to the
She
discussion.
understands it.
Yeah, I was thinking.
You don't know.
What's your YouTube channel called?
What?
What's your YouTube channel called?
What is my channel called? What?
Called.
My name, surname, Tomasz Kopyra.
Oh, okay.
So you'll write it down in a minute.
You only write on YouTube piwo, which is Polish word for beer,
Yeah.
Piwo, and probably some of my views will be there.
Okay. I'll check
And
it out later.
type in Kopyra, Simon Buckley, and it'll come up. what we've got.
Simon Buckley probably not, but piwo and maybe Evan Evans,
Yeah.
and should be.
Cool.
There we go.
So there's a little delay. Oh, we're still live, are we?
Yeah, we're still alive. We're still alive. We're still alive. Yeah, keep it.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to toilet.
So there's a little delay of I think 2 hours when you go live.
All right.
So you'll probably be able to see it.
So how are people, if it's 2 hours delay, how are people responding to it then?
You can watch it live. You can watch the live.
Ah, right,
feed.
okay. But what you mean is when later
The
when
whole
it's,
video. Yeah. If you want to watch the whole video back, I think it's about a 2 hour delay. You probably see the beginning.
Pure, is it? Isn't it? So you should prepare.
That's it. Yeah, for beer. Yeah.
What's that one?
There's Thomas Kopyra. So
Yeah.
if you go on his channel now, click this, you might be able to see.
Cześć, tutaj Tomek Kopyra z blogu Kopyra.com. Dzisiaj odpowiedź na...
Put it on there, then you can and preside on the
Live. There we are. Live.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, live.
Who's that man?
Oh, we're live. Maybe we. Let's stop this. Yeah, let's stop this one. And, So okay, well, we're live. We've got 245 people watching. How do you watch it back from the start, Tom? Is it just it comes back?
What do you mean?
They want to watch to watch the video from start to finish later on.
When we finished it, it will be possible to to watch from the beginning.
Okay.
But I've got your name
It's
there
like the
now.
porn. It's like the porn.
So if you subscribe to that one,
That's it.
that one, and now you've subscribed.
Okay.
So you'll see all of his future videos. And would
There
you
we
like
go.
to see my channel?
I will be charging you.
Would you like to see my channel on
beg your pardon?
YouTube?
It's the real
On
ale
YouTube?
side.
I'll show you mine. How do you go back?
Go, yeah, that one. Go back in. Get on to it.
There we go. You only have to put in real ale.
What's that kinky sailor there? What's all that about, Bruce?
What can you share? Oh!
I kolejny subek poleciał.
There we go. Then you've subscribed. Thank you very much.
And that is on, which one's that one? On YouTube.
On you, so when you go on to
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, the real ale side.
So there we are.
Okay, we're going to
What's the game?
Cadoxton and then to Cardiff, yeah?
Okay. So we're going to carry on the live feed all the way back down the motorway?
We'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you
you.
for your hospitality, for
Sorry,
beers.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming.
I appreciate your attitude. I'm not in it. I'm against a bit, but
You're not against it because you believe in beer. That's all it's about.
yeah.
That's the perfect, yeah, totally.
Bye.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Simon, I'll speak next week, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Słuchajcie, kończymy live na tę chwilę. Nie będziemy zużywać transfera prawa jazdy samochodem. Jedziemy do Cadoxton, z Cadoxton do Cardiff. Obawiam się, że może na drugą połowę zdążymy. No dobrze. Myślę, że nie najgorzej wyszedł ten live. Mieliśmy bardzo fajną jakość. Także dzięki wielkie za oglądanie, dzięki wielkie za wszystkie łapki w górę. Stay tuned, postaramy się jeszcze coś nadawać dzisiaj wieczorem. Stay tuned.
Cheers, guys! I'm dry.